Hello everyone. Kimura. This style has gotten a lot of ups and downs. But it's mostly known as the weakest style in the game. But in the recent patch it did get a pretty crazy buff. Which was an increase on his anti-heal. And an increase in M2 damage. These two don't seem like big changes, but they actually enhance something Kimura is very well known for. Snowballing. Once Kimura hits you enough times, it does not matter if the Kimura was losing, or if you healed everything because Kimura does not deal that much damage. The slow will creep into you. If he manages to catch you in an M1 combo consecutively it will sting a lot more because of the M1 anti-heal buff. Also people tend to forget that Kimura also slows down your health regeneration. Because of the M1 anti-heal buff. And if you get reckless yourself and get hit with an M2, do not forget that that move also got buffed. How big is this M2 buff then? Let me break it down. Basic needs 17 M2s to knock someone down, Smash only needs 15 M2s to knock someone down. And Kimura needs 16 M2s, making him slightly weaker than Smash.
But J-words, I get that these buffs are great, but it does not really matter if the Kimura cannot even utilize it if he doesn't even get to land his attacks. If so, how can Kimura land his attacks consistently?
Well, he can perfect dodge to start applying his debuff slowly. He can also play like an outboxing route by keeping his distance from the enemy and waiting for the right opening. And just farm with punishes. This does not require his debuff being active at all by the way, you could legit do this with every style. But his debuff does really help make this easier to perform. Or he could also just go crazy and be an aggressive infighter that lands his attacks with overwhelming pressure. Overall, Kimura is a style that is pretty flexible because it is designed to be a well-rounded style. So Kimura, similarly to Basic, relies on how good you are as a player. So for Kimura to shine, you have to have good fundamentals. We have a lot of anti-heal merchants in this game, like Slugger and Bullet. But they do have their own flaws. Like Slugger with his weak block, and Bullet with his weak dashes. But Kimura does not suffer this, he actually has some good stats to back him up. He is the only anti-heal style that has good defense. On both his block and dashes. So keep that in mind if you want to use Kimura right now. Relatively speaking, his only downside right now is his lack of damage on his M1 chain. Pretty similar to Bullet. I'm not saying Kimura's M1 damage is the same as Bullet. It's actually quite different. Kimura's is bad yes, but Bullet's is just straight up awful. Which makes sense because you know, Bullet is a counter type. Anyways yeah, that's about it for Kimura. Here's me using the style.
行くぜ。離れねえ離れねえ、絶対にこの一撃のために。